And welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to discuss variables on both sides in these equations and how to solve them. So to strategize here, I have a couple of rules that we want to actually follow. Okay? The most important rule is we want to move our variable first. And why I'm saying that, you may not understand it yet, but I will make that in my next video. Okay, so we actually have these things called special solutions. You'll start seeing those in our next video, but here we want to move our variable first. More specifically, we also want to move our smaller variable. That's the variable we want to take and move it to the other side. Okay? When I say move to the other side, what I'm talking about is making one value 0 and then moving it to the other side of our equation. Okay? So how I do that is I compare negative 5x and 2x, and I ask myself which one is smaller. So between the two of them, actually in reality, negative 5x is actually smaller than 2x because it is further from 0. And it's actually, more correctly, it's more to the left of 0 than the 2x. So how I actually move that is I add 5x to it because I want to create that 0 situation. And I add 5x to the other side. I'm following my addition property of equality there. Negative 5x plus 5x is 0 due to the property of opposites. And now we're just left with that single 8. I can just drop down. And then 2x plus 5x is 7x. Drop in the negative 6. And now it just looks like a two-step equation that we know how to solve. So what we have to think here is now I just placed all the variables on the right. I have to move all my numbers back to the left. Okay, so now the term I want to move is this negative 6, and I move it by making it a 0. So I'm going to add 6 to it, and addition property of equality, I add 6 to both sides. Property of opposites, that becomes 0, therefore 7x, and then 8 plus 6 is 14. And finally, we want 1x, so now we want to divide both sides by 7. So then, and leave it as what you see here, 2 is equal to x. So you would be done. Okay? Now, let's say we have a more complex version. So let's say, I give you a second example here. Now you're seeing a lot more. Okay? So not only do we want to move that variable first, we would like to, but in this case, we want to first take care of, is there any type of distributive property to work with? Are there any combining like terms to work with? And once we've done all of that, we will get it into that situation where we have ax plus b equals ax plus c, and then we can start working with that moving our variable first. Okay, so we have to take care of these two first, and then we can get into moving our variables. Okay, so I do see some distributive property here. So what I'm going to distribute first, I'm going to distribute this positive 2 to the x and the negative 1. So that becomes 2x minus 2. I'm going to reproduce the 6x over here. So 6x plus 2x minus 2 equals, distributive property over here, I'm distributing a negative 2. So I'm going to drop down my 4x, I'm not changing that. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. So I took care of distributive property. Now it's a case of combining like terms on each side. I have 6x and 2x. And here, if you notice, this is why I split my equal sign here. I split my sides, so I know I have 8x on one side. So I have 8x minus 2. And on the other side, I can't combine these yet with my 8x because they're not on the same side yet. So I have 4x and negative 2x. And that becomes 2x. And then just drop down to plus 6. And now we can go into moving our variables. So from here, smaller variables than 2x. So I move it by subtracting 2x from both sides. I get 0 plus 6, which is 6. Over here, I get 6x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides to get my 6x alone. 6x is equal to 8. And then I divide both sides by 6. And again, this is why I divide using a fraction. Now I can just reduce my fraction. I can reduce them each by 2, making our final solution, x is equal to 4/3.